Go, give it on. Anyone you said, anyone you said, anywhere.
Greetings, my terrestrial friends. Name's Booskaboo, Commander Booskaboo. You can call me CV for short. Just an all-around spacefaring man, trying to make some money, either hauling cargo, blowing up some rocks, or anything in between. During my vast travels, I tend to check on Reddit once in a while to help me pass the time. Care to read along in some stories? Yeah? Well, alright. Let's get reading. Alright, here we go. Today's OP comes from U/acceptable mushroom 55. Husband, 37M. Cheating with high school child? Advice. My, 34F, husband, 37M, has been cheating on me recently. He says it's only been chat and there's been no physical stuff. Unfortunately, rather than being remorseful, he has been telling a lot of lies and trying to cover up what he's been doing. So far, I've found 24 chat and dating websites that he's been signed up to. He has been secretly paying for live cams since 2019. I didn't want to do anything rash. I've been working through things with a counselor. She thinks sex addiction seems likely. We have kids, joint property, and businesses, and it's not going to be a clean, simple break. I have explained to him that the most likely option at this point was divorce because he doesn't seem to be able to stop lying and covering up his actions. I can't live with that. He promised to get help and has deleted all of his social media apps as a gesture of good faith until he can start counseling. I am logged into his social media accounts in the interim and keep tabs on him per his request. We've set a 3-month time frame to finalize the divorce decision and give him time to show progress. Late on Tuesday, his Snapchat account received a blurry half-faced picture of a woman sitting in her bed. Doesn't take much to imagine what this would have led to if he was able to engage with it. I didn't confront him about it. I know Snapchat has been the platform for a lot of his misbehavior. We agreed that we put these conversations off until he got started with counseling. Today, a similar picture of the same person arrived. This time, she's clearly in a classroom, wearing a school uniform. The school uniform is from a local school, proving the child in the picture is between 11 and 17 years old. Well, Reddit, what the fuck do I do now? And now it's time for some replies. First reply coming from Kindalf92. The child's parents need to be notified, but based on the level of enmeshment between you two, I would consult a lawyer ASAP, like first thing in the morning, to see if there's any way to separate and salvage your financials and businesses in case the parents take legal action against your husband. Also ask lawyers how to best drop this bomb. As for your husband, what are the chances that he didn't know this was a child? I can imagine those chances are pretty slim. If he told you he did not know, would you believe him? Regardless, he made the decision to step outside of the marriage. So even if he does a stellar job of convincing you that he didn't know this is still a very unfortunate consequence based on his poor choices and shitty behavior. He either actively chose to cheat with a child or he is too stupid to check IDs. Either way, the law will pity no fools in this arena. Our next reply coming from Opposite Hot 5837. You must react immediately. There is no 3-month countdown. He's future faking you. Any quote-unquote counseling is going to be a waste of time as only committed and involved people who get better put the effort in at the present moment. You being marriage police is exhausting, all-consuming, and an unwinnable task as you are finding the goalposts constantly moving. His behavior in just the past number of days is clear you have nothing to work with. Depending on the laws in your area, your soon-to-be ex is playing a very dangerous game with your livelihood and your children. You are in knowledge of his behavior, and it does not take a huge leap to believe he could be associated with people not the age of consent, CP, or other actions which cannot be undone. You need to call a lawyer who is familiar with infidelity, abuse, and well-versed in family law now. Women's law for a directory of low-cost/no-cost assistance. The hotline for a text or phone call to arrange assistance with your next steps, including a safety plan. There is advice about assisting your children in that link as well. If you have hard evidence, and you will not like to read this, you must secure the evidence and put it away for safekeeping. For example, his personal number. Not necessarily take it with you in order to have it handled by authorities. Do not print or copy any images that push the boundary of a consenting legal-aged adult. We live in an age of even possessing images of questionably underage people is a felony, no matter how you attempt to spin this. Any other details such as bank account statements, credit card statements, paycheck receipts, insurance plans, mortgages, or any legal document you share that has a $sign, take images/video or screenshot and paste it to a secure location, including multiple email addresses. This is a sinking ship, OP, and the water is coming up along your ankles. Grab what you can. Secure your finances and important paperwork without haste. Make a tough decision about your kids and how you will distance yourself from this mushroom cloud and speak to legal advocacy now. You are underreacting. IMO. NC Deep Diver follows up. Very good post. Thank you. Following up with another comment from Spank666. Contact a lawyer before you do anything. Look for someone who handles family law and divorce, and if you can, one that also offers criminal defense. That way, resources are available for your lawyer to consult on your unique circumstances. This is dangerous territory. You could think of maybe trying to work through this if there wasn't a minor involved. This is, quote, to catch a predator, unquote, territory here. You need to insulate yourself and consult legal counsel before making any reports. They will tell you how best to go about that to protect yourself. It's worth every penny to lawyer up at the first sign of trouble. And the OP responds, thanks for this. I agree, it's important to consult my lawyer before I make reports or start investigating in any way. This will help mitigate my liability if this walking, quacking thing turns out to be a duck. And there's our pal, NC Deep Diver. Please contact an attorney tomorrow. If her parents find out before you retain an attorney, you could be in a world of trouble you don't want any part of. And the OP responds, thanks. I retained legal counsel yesterday. Summer Ice Cream responds to the OP. OP, please see the long response posted by Opposite Hot 5837 and see my response above about getting your financial ducks in a row now, today, and of course talk to a lawyer. He can clean out your accounts in a matter of minutes, close credit cards too, and gather up important papers. We got you, Summer Ice Cream. We covered that as well. Oh, and it's update time. From the OP. Update. I'm in touch with my lawyer and they're looking into the details and our local implications. I confronted my husband too. He says he's never messaged the person and thought it was someone else entirely. The username and screen name don't match. Username is girl name and screen name is boy name. If it adds any credibility, boy name is spelled incorrectly, exactly as it appears in his contacts. The contact is a prominent local professional. I know I'm grasping at straws here. Is it possible this is a kid who's used a random mobile number to set up Snapchat? And now we have a reply from Brickfish Bitch. Do you have the person's screen name who sent the picture? That can be traced back to whoever sent it and maybe they can be questioned. Try to keep a record of the username, date, and time it was sent. Some people leave their location turned on too, which would give an indication of the actual location when the picture was sent. As for the relationship, I would say it's over. Just because you have control over his accounts for 3 months doesn't mean he's going to change his behavior. He's modifying it temporarily to get what he wants. Do you want to worry or keep going back to this for the rest of your life? This guy needs help beyond sex addiction and is dragging you down with his problems. Talk to your lawyer and consider the reality of your future. This is too heavy to get involved in, and you should keep in mind the original reason you wanted a divorce. Don't let that slip your mind. And the OP responds, yes, the screen name and username do not match. The screen name is a prominent local professional that we've had several business interactions with. The username seems to be his daughter, based on a quick FB search. It's possible the account was auto-suggested because the phone number registered to the account matched a contact on our phone. And another comment. Dash Red says, Devil's Advocate. Without messages between the two establishing context, you're left with only assumptions that most skilled liars can easily create viable, if not believable, excuses for. I don't know who she is or why she sent those. It's her uniform from when she was in high school. It's a fetish, not a teenager. Not saying I'll believe those, only that without proof it's all conjecture. I'm curious why those accounts are even still open. They should have been closed and deleted first thing. And the OP replies, I've been able to identify the child as the daughter of a local professional that we've had business interactions with. There is no objective evidence of back and forth messaging, just these 2 messages received. Subjectively, I can't trust a word that comes out of his mouth because of recent infidelity. All of his social media accounts have been closed by us since my original post. Dash Red follows up, that's good, but as I'm sure you are aware, it only prevents him from operating through those accounts that you know of. Opening new accounts is just a new email account away. No matter what path you decide to take, it's in your best interest to be prepared. That means collecting evidence, screenshot everything, and email it to a new account that you set up. The timestamps are just as important as the content. This tactic saved my ass in court when my ex, who is one of the best manipulators I have ever met, tried to take my kids across country by assassinating my character to gain full custody. But there was one thing I didn't do that I wish I had. It would have made things so much easier, however, it's a bit underhanded. With access to his phone, there are multiple apps that can be installed and hidden or disguised that will allow you to see every text, call, email, and keystroke remotely. When I looked into it during my experience, spousal privilege deemed it legal, at least in my state, and as long as no criminal activity like bank fraud resulted. However, that was 7 years ago. Doing so would be beneficial if he has just gone underground. But it's hypocritical where trust is concerned. Personally, with the issues at hand, I will definitely look into it. After all, the problem appears to be far greater than a single indiscretion, and with possible pedophilia factored in, it's difficult not to consider it a viable option. The best advice I ever received when the soul-crushing heartache of betrayal destroyed my self-esteem and left me questioning my self-worth. You can't control what others do to you, only how you handle it. My best to you, and good luck. Pure truth, Dash Red. You can't always control what's happening around you, but you're in 100% control of the way you handle it. Sorry you're going through this challenging time, OP. I wish you the best coming out the other end of this. And on that note, it's time for me to move on, moving along. Commander Booskaboo signing off. 07.